For step 3, we're going to start with the circuit from step 2. And you can click Control on your keyboard and drag a box over these 3 components and then delete them all together, or you can delete them one at a time. We're going to replace it with, under Sources, clock voltage. And that will be the input for clock for the first flip-flop. We're also going to grab a ground from schematic connectors and ground the clock voltage. We're going to click on the clock voltage, ensure that it is set to 5 volts. Frequency we will change to 20 Hertz, and ensure that the duty cycle is at 50%. Last, we're going to go to Analysis and Annotation and grab a digital probe, place it about here, click J on the keyboard to make a junction and connect it with the wire coming out of clock voltage. We're going to click on that again, and we're going to name it CLK for clock. You can press Run Simulation, and now instead of having to use the toggle, the clock is going to automatically switch back and forth between 0 and 1, and you can see the numbers changing. We're going to go to the Graph tab under the title. And on the right-hand side, you're going to scroll down under cursors or under axes. And yours should look like something like this. And only when the circuit is running, you can do this option. It says time over division. You're going to click the right-hand arrow until you get to 20 milliseconds per division. And then you can stop. Now you can see there's a key up here. So we have Q and not Q, and that's from the first circuit we built. So under plot, we can turn off Q and not Q. So now we see the wave for A, B, and the clock signal. Now you want to get one full waveform in the frame, so I'm actually going to press play and move it one more time so I can see all of A. Okay, so I'm going to change mine to 50. I'm going to press stop. I'm going to turn off Q and not Q. And we can see the plot here of A, B, and the clock signal. Now you want to measure the period of the clock signal. So again, the clock signal is the one in gray. You're going to go to cursors and go to type and select x-axis, and you see these 2 cursors pop up. Now when you move them, we don't get any values for delta x or 1 divided by delta x. So what you have to do is you have to set cursor 1 to clock and cursor 2 to clock. Now I can move this to the falling edge of the clock, and then I'll move cursor 2 to the falling edge. And on the bottom, here's my delta x, which is my period, 49.127 milliseconds. Should be around 50. And then my 1 divided by delta x, or frequency, is 20.132 hertz. So I would put that in letter H. There's a table under problem 3. Then it asks to measure B, so you'll have to change the cursor to B and cursor 2 also to B. And you see it changes to the color of the wave. So I'm going to measure the rising edge of wave B to the next rising edge. And I get my period is 29.891, which is about double. And then my frequency is 10 hertz, which is about half of the frequency. You'll do that one more time, switch the cursor to A, and then measure the period and frequency.